In Berkeley.
Police in riot gear held the line against this very raucous crowd, many of them wearing masks and waving Palestinian flags and chanting, "No fascists in Berkeley," among other things. Tensions boiled over when people began throwing rocks and bottles. A man who breached the barricade was quickly taken down and arrested. In another confrontation, a protester got into a bloody brawl with a man wearing Charlie Kirk's trademark Freedom shirt. Both men were dragged away by police.
Fox's Claudia Count. President Trump keeps waiting for a ruling from the Supreme Court in a case he calls one of the biggest ever, a challenge to his legal authority to impose all those tariffs on imports from around the world. He tells Fox's Laura Ingraham,
it's trillions and trillions of dollars would have to be paid back.
If the Supreme Court rules against the tariffs.
It would be a disaster for our country. Now, will I do something? I'll figure something out, because I do. That's what I do in life. I figure things out.
Ahead of the ruling, the president also wants to spread the wealth of all those tariffs with most of us.
A proposal to pay low and middle income Americans $2,000 a person from new tariff revenue would cost about $600 billion, according to a study from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. The analysis assumes the payments would go to both adults and children, similar to COVID-era payments that were made. So far, tariffs imposed by President Trump have generated about $100 billion in revenue and are projected to raise about $300 billion per year. Given that, the study finds dividend payments would cost about twice as much as revenue raised. An opinion on the legality of the tariffs is expected from the Supreme Court in a few weeks. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the Dow's up 178 points. The NASDAQ, though, down 181. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Do the holiday parties, tailgating, and family get-togethers have your liver working overtime? Let Active Liver help give your liver some relief at Amazon or VitaCost.com, CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
Your 710 KURV IQ weather forecast. A beautiful day for Veterans Day. Plenty of sunshine, breezy this afternoon. Highs near 80 degrees with south-southeast winds at 8 to 16 miles an hour. Clear tonight. Comfortable lows in the mid-50s to low 60s. South-southeast winds at 7 to 14 miles an hour. Windy and warm with lots of sun on Wednesday. Highs in the mid and upper 80s. Breezy and warm with plenty of sun Thursday. Highs back to the mid and upper 80s to near 90. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
The Black Friday sales event is all month long at South Texas Buick GMC. Drive home your Buick Encore GX for just $129 a month, or get behind the wheel of a GMC Sierra Pro for only $159 a month. GMC, we are professional grade, space, technology, and style. Visit SouthTexasGMC.com or call us at 956-661-5000. Take the Sherry Road exit between McAllen and Mission. South Texas Buick GMC, not the biggest, just the best.
The holidays are here, and so is your chance to make your business grow. Advertise on News Talk 710 KURV for better holiday sales. With our powerful radio signal, the most active social media and digital platforms, plus creative local promotions, we'll make sure your business is a success this season. Join the holiday marketing magic. Visit RadioUnited.com or call 956-992-8895 today. Our team is ready to help your business grow this holiday season. Call 956-992-8895.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Time is 10:07. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Tuesday. It's November 11th, 2025. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. You spinning live already, Freddie? Yeah. Where are you right now? Where are we right now? And Face, X, and YouTube's. Facebook, X, YouTube's live. 710 KURV. You can hop aboard. We got a couple of interviews we're looking forward to featuring for you, including Eric Flores. Former prosecutor, veteran as well. And he is running for Congress 34, among the many. Would you say we have a plethora of Republicans running for 34? Of course we do. We have a bunch of Republicans, everybody and their grandma running for Congress 34 because, well, the Republicans up in Austin redrew the lines. And on paper, it's Republicans that have an advantage by a few points. They still need to get the vote out. like I was saying. I want to say thank you to our supporters this hour, second hour, the Sergio Show on 710 KURV is a service of South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank. On this Veterans Day, I want to wish to recognize and put on record, as I do every year, the one veteran in my life that God blessed me with. That was my uncle, Al Garces from Mercedes, Texas. Al Garces became like a second father to me when he was real close to my dad. He and my dad were very close. When Dad, through a brother of his, had a chance to get a work permit, and they were starting up this. Dad told me it was like some trucking company, trucking outfit in San Antonio. That was short lived. It was my uncle Al Garces in Houston who helped him pivot and get a different job. My dad worked all sorts of, with his fourth grade Mexican education, and my dad was real smart. He was one of those ingeniería mexicano, right? Ingeniero mexicano, right? Where a Mexican engineer, they'll find a solution, they'll find a fix to anything, everything, right? They'll spit into something and get it done. They'll grab a board and bend metal, whatever it needs. That was my dad. And my uncle Al Garces and my dad were very close, and he helped Dad, pivot from this place. He eventually found that scaffolding job that provided, as I say, my ungrateful mouth as a boy and a teenager in Houston. And this is the power, the benefit of prosperity and energy. Southeast Houston, working man's portion of Houston. It was a scaffolding industry, a scaffolding job that fed off what? Petroleum. Fed off of the energy capital of the world in Houston. And my uncle helped him steer in that direction. My uncle was Al Garces, Mercedes, Texas. He was a POW, a veteran of the Korean War, the Forgotten War. And my dad, my second dad, Al Garces, he's the one who, man, I would sit outside his house here in McAllen when we'd come and visit. He was one of those that would take a lawn chair, unfold it, sit down, and there was smoking away, smoking, little light at a distance. I see that little light at a distance. I'm walking to his house. He would tell me stories of battle. And he'd get up from his chair with his chanclas and his, wife beater shirt and his shorts on. And he would go in from foxhole to foxhole and with his rifle stabbing this and stabbing. He would tell me stories of death marches where he, as a POW, and other American soldiers and allies, Korea was a UN mission. The Chi-Coms, the North Koreans would march them through the snow to die. And my uncle survived that. And my uncle Al Garces is the one with all his many stories, his accounts of in battle, behind the lines of his POW camp for 2.5 years. My uncle was a POW in Korea. He's the one who taught me, showed me respect and reverence for anything, everything dealing with our veterans. Back then, things were different. There was, conscription. Soldiers would be drafted. I don't remember if Korea was based on the draft or it was based on volunteer. I suspect it might have been draft because Vietnam was draft. But either way, my uncle, he's the one who signed up. He was young. He ran to the recruitment office just when he became 18, because it was just, you can imagine, just after the high, the euphoria of winning World War II, beating the Nazis, right, 1945. It was too young for that. So as soon as he became 18, he signed up for the military to go and defend America, and he wound up in Korea, wound up as a 2.5-year POW captured by the Chi-Coms and tortured like many other POWs. And he survived all that to come back, and a little boy that I was growing up around him at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, very impressionable. He taught me reverence and respect for our country, our military, our service members, our institutions, our heroes. And I'm thankful forever for my uncle. The Lord called him home several years back. Al Garces is my veteran. And for your veteran, and your family who did without your service member for many months as she, they were on the front lines of battle. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you and abundantly bless you and your family for the sacrifice, all of you, especially our veterans, that they made when they served our nation. The time is 10:13, the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, and as promised, we got everybody and their grandma running for Texas Congress 34. Here's my conversation with Eric Flores. Go ahead, Rick. And on this Veterans Day, it's only appropriate that we do have a veteran in the studio who is running for Congress 34, Republican, former prosecutor, and yes, veteran, Eric Flores in the studio. Welcome back.
Sergio, thanks for having me this morning. Glad to be in person with you this time.
Well, I understand it's almost walking distance from the studio, like down the street.
Just a stone throw away.
A little bit here in Mission, Texas. All right. So how goes the campaign so far? Huh?
The campaign's great, Sergio. Of course, with redistricting, we originally had Hidalgo County, and the pool was, quite small at that point. But then with redistricting, it now takes out Hidalgo and now pushes us up all the way to Nueces County. So with that happening, the pool has now definitely widened up just quite a bit. I call it a student council race almost. There's 9 people in the race.
Yeah. Describe it.
But, the campaign is great. We've attended over 150 meetings, throughout the district, met with veterans, met with farmers, industrial workers. On the fundraising front, we outraised pretty much everybody else in the primary, to include even the incumbent, Mr. Gonzalez, posting up a number of, over $500 and I think $58,000.
Mm-hmm.
One gentleman did, throw in $1 million of his own money.
Wow.
But other than that, we were tough contenders in that regard.
Speaking of the incumbent in Congress 34, and let's start with the redraw of the congressional district. It has gone from a deep, deep blue under Biden when the incumbent was reelected up in D.C. To go to D.C. It was like plus 14 or plus 16, something like that, plus 14 to 16, Biden, which means, just a quick explanation for all the working people. This is like inside baseball politics stuff. But when you say it's plus 14, for example, was it 14 or 16? I think
it was closer to 16.
Closer to 16. Okay, so that means the final tally would be 58% for the Democrat and 42% for the Republican. 8 and 8 equals 16. That's a plus 16 Biden. Because of the redraw, I was told it's plus 10 GOP. Is that correct? Muscle men?
So,
plus 10?
I think, myself being a former financial prosecutor, by trade, I say I'm an Excel guru, right? So I really think this seat is drawn as definitely plus GOP, right? I think the predictions, I've seen some that it is plus 6, as great as plus 8. But really and truly, I think in the environment that we are in today with President Trump not being on the ballot, really and truly, I think it's closer to a plus 1 or plus 2.
Okay.
Right. So we are very much, this is a swing seat, right? And this is in the midterm cycles, the last time that President Trump was in office, we lost 41 seats. So we're in a critical moment right now. We, as a Republican Party, we've failed to kind of turn this seat around. What's crucial right now is that we get Vicente Gonzalez out of the seat. We need a Republican conservative to go up to D.C. and to support President Trump's agenda, because if we don't, what is going to happen is the America First agenda is undoubtedly going to stall. That's number one. And then number two, the one that we don't want to see is, again, this gentleman wins this seat. We're going to see impeachment after impeachment against President Trump, and led by none other than Hakeem Jeffries. And we don't need that.
Yeah, it'll be a useless the last 2 years of the Trump presidency if the House goes crazy and taken over by the crazies on the Democrat side. Eric Flores is running for Texas House 34, Congress.
Absolutely.
And we need, as I was telling Eric, we need the ear of the president. You don't have it right now if you have present representation. You just don't. I don't even know if he tries, to be honest with you. just to, because one thing we've seen about Donald Trump, he crosses, the party lines and is able to speak to him. But is anybody even trying on the Democrat side, even in Texas, to speak with the president for the sake of Texas? Anyway, by having a Republican represent 34, yes, you have the attention of the president. And that's why the vote needs to get out big time. Is there enough support from the National Party where they see this seat could go back to the Republicans? Is there enough support right now? What more would you want? Would you ask of national or state party, of power brokers to get it done, to get those foot soldiers out there and push the vote to the polls?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we look at this, from a national perspective, we look at the margin that we have in the House right now, it's slim. It is single digit, right? So this race in particular, 34, as well as 28, but I think most important is 34, given, that we have SpaceX, that we have LNG, that we have the Port of Brownsville. I mean, this is really and truly, I heard somebody say the other day, this is a savings account of a district. Absolutely not, right? This is like investment banking. This is where we want to be. I mean, we want to be.
I'm sorry. What does that mean? Savings account of a district. What do they mean by that?
That they tap into us as Republicans, as conservatives, really when they need us, right? But that should not be
to get campaign donations. Oh, okay, that's a different way of hearing it. Yeah.
And that's not where it should be, right? We're at the tip of the spear for energy production, for space exploration, for the port. So this is a top tier 1 race, right? Yeah. And we really need to be methodical and deliberate as to how we approach that. It's for me as a candidate, it's a little frustrating to see, it be so big. There's 9 people in this race. Of course, everybody within is allowed to throw their names in the hat. But if we really want to win, we need to be methodical. We need to be deliberate in our approach. Because let's look, the only people that are laughing right now are the Democrats, right? Vicente has maybe one opponent who's not formidable. So this is preseason for him. He's warming up, he's doing his push-ups, drinking his protein shakes, and he's getting ready for the true battle, and that's in the general.
Talk about pocketbook issues, what matters, jobs. We live in an era of prosperity we've never seen before in the Valley, and as I often say, as surprised that I am that we are blessed with real-world capital investment, not block grants from taxes that were paid and other tax paid. We're talking about real-world investment, liquefied natural gas, and the Port of Brownsville, their leadership right now, and all the industry that they could take in. I think we need a cheerleader in Washington on behalf of the Port of Brownsville to bring more industry, to bring more LNG and complementary industry for that, for steel and everything else. That's what we need up in Washington, because America is manufacturing again. America can refine now, even refine rare earth minerals, for example. Up the coast, there's like some foreign investor, Australia, that's sending us some rare earth minerals refining facility. Yeah. We need that. 40,000 acres of the port, we need that. We need a cheerleader up in Washington for more jobs, for more economic development projects here at the port at Brownsville. That's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think being a cheerleader is great, Sergio, but we need somebody who can deliver, right? And that's something that I've already done on multiple fronts, right? My other candidates are great. I don't want to speak ill will of anybody, but at the end of the day, for me, I'm running on things that I have already delivered, right? I've served on the border twice over Operation Guardian Support as a soldier and then as a prosecutor, dismantling the largest human smuggling organization this district has seen probably in the last 20 years. I have helped out municipalities as a city attorney, school boards as general counsel. I know the issues here locally. We talk about LNG, we talk about Port of Brownsville. I have clients all throughout this district. I have already championed policies for them. So in addition to going up there and being a cheerleader, the most important piece is being an effective advocate, right? I've litigated cases before on behalf of the United States, and I've been successful. So without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to be a great cheerleader. Most importantly, we're going to be a advocate who can deliver and support President Trump.
And another industry is the space payload delivery business with SpaceX. And of course, this being the port to the moon and Mars here pretty soon. Yeah, I think that's my opinion, but I believe for the Texas economy, the Valley should be an example, tip of the spear. I know Austin gets a lot of high-tech chip builders and all the high tech stuff, but because of Elon Musk's footprint here in deep South Texas, I think we need a stronger coalition up in D.C. to advocate for aerospace, for space payload delivery, space exploration as well. That's another industry that would need to be top of mind for the next representative for South Texas.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think another thing that we could be looking at is Space Force, right? We have SpaceX here. There's no reason why we cannot expand that area down here in South Texas. We have Elon Musk, who is already opening up the gateway to Mars literally in our backyard. Sergio. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
Right? We look at LNG, $20 billion project down here. We are going to become a central force, not only for the United States, but I think for the entire globe.
Yeah, 10-4. On criminal prosecution, cartels being deemed terrorists, things like that. Your quick thoughts as a former prosecutor, how you see things going, what more could we do under the Trump administration to, push back, prosecute, seize assets, whatever needs to be done in order to stop these terrorists, these newly defined terrorists, the cartels?
So I think under President Trump, he's doing a great job, securing the border and doing what we can do. We're fighting fire with fire by identifying them as terrorists. That gives the agents, the federal prosecutors, that additional authority and power to really investigate these dangerous individuals and fighting fire with fire. We're no longer being complacent. We're no longer being risk adverse. We're doing what is necessary to secure our border, to stop the fentanyl, to stop the smugglers and the traffickers. So what President Trump is doing is great, especially the Sec War, Pete Hegseth. They are really taking the fight to these bad guys, and we're safer for it.
Eric Flores is running for Texas House 34 Congress. He's one of a batch of Republicans, a big batch of Republicans that are seeking the nomination. You will see his name. If you live in Congress 34, you'll see his name on the ballot next March, Lord willing. It's the primary in Texas. Anything else before I let you go? Anything on the calendar you want to mention to the folks?
No, Sergio, thanks so much for having me. To the fellow veterans who are listening, thank you all for your service. That's one thing that I want to champion in Congress, is to continue to fight for our veterans, to make sure that they get the care they deserve every single day. So thank you all.
I hope this is the first of several conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
Come back and see us again.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Republican Eric Flores running for Texas Congress 34. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Time is 10:26. Thank you to our supporters this hour. Big thank you to South Texas Buick GMC. Thanks as well to Lone Star National Bank.
Veterans Day. It's honor the veterans.
Veterans, freedom.
Honoring our veterans today and every day. News Talk 710 KURV.
For many years now, I've been very proud to represent a dear friend of mine, Dale Johnson, top commercial roofer in the region. The Rio Grande Valley, so many different businesses trusting my friend Dale Johnson for all this commercial roofing work. I want you to know that Dale has trusted Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. So now you got the next level for all these roofing projects at all these different properties that you have. And it all starts with one phone call. DLJ Commercial Roofing is now part of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. For years, you have trusted Dale. And now by locking arms with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, you're looking at 125 plus years of experience and a huge menu of expanded service offerings, valued warranties, cutting-edge roof installations, and advanced waterproofing solutions. Call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing for that initial conversation. 956-655-6178. 956-655-6178.
There's only
Time is 10:29. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Freddie, is it too early to say Merry Christmas? No? We need to start running some. That's right. Anything past Halloween, that Christmas tree goes up. Boom! Because it's part of Thanksgiving as well. Big thank you to our supporters this hour. Lone Star National Bank. Big thanks as well to South Texas Buick GMC. And we're still doing the Facebook and X and YouTube Live thing that Freddie put us on. 710 KURV on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And I say that because we have friends in the studio. Sarah Gutierrez is president of Little Elves. Little Elves. And Sofia Salivar is a board member with Little Elves. I like little things. Like my producer Freddie's like my favorite little thing is producer Freddie. Okay. RGV Little Elves. Sarah, you are the founder.
Yes.
So what is Little Elves? What do you do?
So we are a local nonprofit that helps families in need throughout the year. And so we're always working on something. Right now, we are working on our Thanksgiving meal kits and our Christmas blessings.
How do you find people?
We take nominations. We take nominations from school districts.
Okay.
Any employees that work at the school can nominate their students if they believe that they need the blessing, as well as on our Facebook page and our website. We do have applications for families to nominate themselves.
How long has this organization been up and running?
We started in 2019 with
Okay.
doing a toy drive for the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And so in 2020, we were like, let's continue this. But we were like, let's do this year round.
Yeah.
So we started Thanksgiving meal kits during the spring. We did hot meals, bikes for kids to stay active during the summer,
Yeah.
fans for families to stay cool.
That's nice.
Different, whatever we see need, we try to give as much as possible to families in need.
Man, I bet since you founded in 2019 and 2020 COVID, man, you probably got like a violent shove forward. So we got to do something more
Yes.
than this, right?
That's exactly why we made it year
Yeah.
round, was during COVID.
All right. So, Sophia,
Yes.
thank you for the email and
Thank
contacting
you
us.
for
Sophia,
contacting us
yeah.
back. We're
Sophia's
so
the one
happy to
who
be
reached
here.
out to us. Which, by the way, which one was it, Freddie? Was it talk@kurv.com or was it the WhatsApp number? One of those, right? Did you call the WhatsApp number? Or how did you get a hold of
I
us?
want to say it was through.
Or the main
I
business
think
line?
it may have been the main business
line.
I believe so.
Well, Sophia said, hey, would you like to learn about Little Elves, RGV Little Elves? And yes, of course. So what is next on the calendar, Sophia?
So our next big event is happening this Saturday at the Bird Ogden Arena in Edinburgh,
Mhm.
and it is our fall festival presented by the Law Office of Fabian Guerrero.
Okay.
So we're really, really excited for it. We are going to have a fun zone for kiddos. We're going to have several different performances. We'll also have a pageant actually that's happening on site. We're going to have vendors, food trucks. I think we've got about 9 or 10 food trucks coming out, a lot of different game stations for kiddos, a scavenger hunt going on as well. There's a lot jam-packed into 4 hours of fun. We'll be there from 12 to 4. And this is actually our pre-game hype for the RGV Vipers game that evening.
Oh,
And so
excellent.
we have actually partnered with Bird Ogden Arena and the
Uh-huh.
RGV Vipers for this festival. And so we're also going to have discounted tickets to the basketball game that evening
Nice.
available for purchase at the festival.
All right. How many people are you expecting? 12 to 4 at Bird Ogden Arena pregame before the Betty
Honestly,
Vipers.
the whole valley better be there.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Well, you definitely
We're
have a big enough
expecting
parking lot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
taking up a whole parking lot full of vendors. I believe we have over 85 vendors. So there's going to be a little bit of something for everyone.
Was this a fundraiser for you where the vendors pay to be there, or how does it work? that
So
you can make some
it
money?
is a fundraiser for
Okay.
us. The vendors did pay a fee to help us out. But then also the food trucks. Some of the food trucks do have a fundraising option. So if you purchase food from the food truck, they do donate a portion to our organization.
There we go. That's a good idea. That's this Saturday.
Yes.
Take the what kilos with you.
Yes, definitely.
Noon to 4, Bird Ogden Arena. It is a fundraiser and, of course, a community event with lots of fun for the kids and food. Free admission, right? Just park nearby and walk up and bless the vendors who are there, and so they can give you a donation as well.
Yes, it
for
is
this
free
fundraiser.
admission. We do have a petting zoo,
Uh-huh.
pony rides, Jurassic RGV, the RGV Ghostbusters. So there is some free activities for the kids to do, and they will have signs, games, and things like that. The scavenger hunt is for the first 100 kids that show up to complete it, and they'll get a big prize at the end. So yeah, we do have a lot of free activities and some vendors out there.
Do you need more pets for the petting zoo? Freddie's got like a whole bunch of feral cats that he takes care of in the neighborhood. Maybe you can round them up and take them over. Don't just look at them, kid. Don't touch. So they'll
Not yet.
scratch
Yeah,
you.
you never know.
Get them to Palm Valley first.
On behalf of RGV Little Elves, and they're doing so much good in the community. Okay, so they got the fundraiser coming up, a community event. Take the kids with you, a Bird Ogden Arena at noon this Saturday. So what else is on the calendar after that as far as, I don't know, distribution of toys or things like that you're doing?
So we are currently working on our Thanksgiving meal kit distribution.
Okay.
We are searching for sponsors to help purchase those meals. We do have over 125 applications currently submitted. With everything going on right now, we need to give
You
as
say
much help.
applications, why? Because you qualify the request? Or
No,
what?
we just have the family submit an application basically stating, why they need the help, where they're located, things like that. And then the board will go over the applications to see which families we
Okay,
believe
so there
need
is
it.
a vetting process to make sure that you're meeting a need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
We do not ask for any financial information, but we do ask that you state why you need the help. Whether it be you're a federal employee, or the SNAP benefits being down, things like that.
Understood. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I would imagine, like, for example, this application from San Carlos. Oh, definitely. There's definitely need there. Freddie's from San Carlos. I'd say another. All right.
We love it.
Anything else you want folks to know? A website? You need
Yes.
volunteers, you need board members. What's going on?
So we do have our website. It's rgvslittlelves.org. We do have information on there to apply to be a board member for next year. We are taking applications up until November 30th. So if you have a passion for blessing the community, we would love to have you on our board. We also do need volunteers for this Saturday. So if you need community service hours, please reach out to us either on Facebook or on our website. You can send us a message. And we also are looking for businesses to host a donation box for the toys and blankets for this December. So if you are interested in that, please send us a message.
And that is obviously our flagship season, right? Christmas time. So for us, those are really near and dear to our hearts to get that toy drive going and started. We're really excited about it and just excited to see what more opportunities we have to serve our community.
Let me know if that thing I mentioned off the radio, the RGV Little Elves on the Shelf, if that becomes a reality.
I love it.
I just threw it out there.
It's a good idea. Yeah, definitely.
We're going to run with it next year. Okay. I don't want anything for it. Just
no,
let me
you
know if it
might
happens.
be
I
the
want-
elf.
to go put
You might be the elf that's going to be
They're
on
going
the
to put me on a
show.
shelf somewhere. It's kind of like what's that fundraiser, Freddie, where they lock people up and you have to pay bond to get them released? It's some fundraiser.
The jail.
It's like where they're going to stick me on a shelf somewhere, maybe like in a billboard on the freeway.
We'll
You're
put
not
you-
getting down until we make gold on the fundraiser.
That's a good idea.
I'm kidding.
We'll put you at the Benson Tower or something.
I'm kidding. Too many ideas. RGV Little Elves. Again, the website. One more time, Sarah.
rgvslittlelves.org.
It's plural. RGVs.
Yes.
Little Elves.
Org.
Is the website.
Or check us out on Facebook under
we go.
RGV's Little Elves. We do have our event information on there, as well as the board member applications, the applications for the Thanksgiving meal kits if you do need assistance, as well as our Christmas blessings application. So if you are going through a hard time this year, you need some assistance with gifts and things like that, you also can ask for food, clothing, heaters, whatever it may need. You can definitely submit an application. They're all on our Facebook page.
Great work.
Thank you.
work.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just curious, how many churches are helping you? Or is it just mostly businesses that are helping you out?
We've
for
actually
this?
got a little bit of both.
Okay.
We've been really excited and blessed to have some of our board members that are actually members of their
And
churches and
excellent.
directors of the boards on their churches. And we've had some youth groups actually that have sponsored bike drives for some of our kiddos. So it's been really, really
Very
cool
nice.
to see our youth-aged kids, the demographic that feels, a lot of times that we don't think that they help out a lot. But they by themselves were able to get a couple of bikes donated. I think it was like six to 10 bikes that we had gotten.
Yeah, toddler bikes.
And so we were able to give that to a daycare, and we were able to meet a need that sometimes isn't focused on so much because they're not school-aged children.
Yeah.
But they still are in a,
Learning
ready learning.
process.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ready learning process. So seeing that has been really, really cool too, to see the expansion of service.
Call
And the
us.
youth group is actually volunteering this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Mentioning youth groups, also you mentioned community hours, the university, and all these different clubs and student clubs. They also
Yes,
would
we
do
do
that
have
too.
a high school group coming that
Good for
are
them.
need community service hours on Saturday.
Good. Sarah Gutierrez, president, founder, Little Elves, RGV Little Elves, and Sofia Salivar. She's a board member with RGV Little Elves. RGVs with an S. RGVsLittleElves.org is the website. Call again, y'all.
Yes, of
Stay-
course.
stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thanks
Time
for
is
having us.
10:39, the Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV. This hour of the program, a service of South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz. Are you having difficulty getting answers